Try to fight it, call you smile, don't deny it. See the way that you look, it's too much. Now I'm sure I'm on time, don't be late.
You've been single for way too long, bro.
Yeah, man, what to do? There are no cute guys in Bombay.
Hello and welcome to the second episode of GirlsFeed. Before we dive into the topic and before we do anything, can we introduce ourselves?
Hi, I'm Amshula and I'm a lawyer.
Hi, I'm Bidisha and I'm a singer drag king.
Hi, I'm Srishti and I'm a content creator.
Hi, I'm Aishwarya and I'm a video producer.
I'm Sonia and I'm a writer.
I'm Divya, I'm a journalist.
So the thing we want to discuss today is how to make friends. And I would like to begin with myself and say that I am terrible at this. I don't know how to make friends. I have severe anxiety when it comes to interacting with new people. So I'll just open up this question to you all. Just tell me quickly, how do you make new friends in the real world?
I make friends not so easily. I generally depending on the environment I'm in. Like when I start a new job, for example, then I make work friends. It's mostly like if I meet them every day or if I meet them often, then I'm like, okay, now maybe you're my friend because we discuss things, you know. Because I've been in this city and I've always been in this city, I don't find the pressure to make new friends all the time.
I also have a really close circuit of queer friends in Bombay. So I also don't necessarily make the effort to go and find new friends. So whenever I'm at panel discussions, you just bump into really cool, interesting people who have a lot of different stories to tell. So yeah, that's how I make new friends.
Divya, do you find it hard to make friends?
Extremely hard. I look like an extrovert, but I'm an introvert from deep inside. And whenever I meet people, my hands shake and stuff. But yeah, I love using online mode to actually know that person before meeting, and then only I can call them friends.
So, at least in the last few years, the only way that I've made friends is through the internet. So that's either through Twitter, and on Twitter, once you've made a certain number of friends, then that circle kind of extends and mushrooms further. So yeah, that's mostly how I've been making friends in the last few years at least.
So you aren't on social media, and I don't know how that is. How do you do that?
So I used to be on social media, at least Facebook, till 2.5 years ago. And I know it's different for different people, but I figured that sometimes you just think of someone as a friend in your head because they've liked a picture of yours or commented saying, hey, looking good. But you don't actually know anything about them. But you can fool yourself by thinking that you have a lot of friends when what they're doing is maybe showing support, giving you validation, but not being a friend.
How do you so casually talk to people? I find it very hard to just muster words in a sentence and say them to a person. I just don't know what words to say to you. I do want to talk to you, I do want to know about your life, but I just don't know how to start a conversation and then keep that going.
A lot of people give small talk a lot of flack, but I think it's the only way to start a longer conversation. And small talk can be drab and boring, or you can take it to a place which is more meaningful. And also everyone knows something that you don't. It's just a process of trying to dig that out. I find it very difficult to start small talk. What I do instead is if I see someone who's equally awkward, I usually go up to them and I start talking. And I've realized that making that awkward person relaxed sometimes can be a way more rewarding interaction than wanting to talk to someone you're intimidated by.
For me, I think what works is compliments. Because whenever you compliment someone, no matter what situation they're in, if they're having fun, if they're sad, it just immediately uplifts their mood. I like your earrings. So I just came and said that to you, and I think compliments can be a nice conversation starter. You go up to someone, you're like, I love your dress, where did you get it from? And one thing leads to another and you start getting to know that person. So yeah, compliments work for me.
Let's quickly cut to a short break and we'll be right back.
Dude, Sonia.
Yeah.
Do you want to go out?
No.
But you never come out.
Listen, I like the way I am. I have my books, I have my cat, I have you. What else do I need?
Arey, but what I'm saying is you need to go out, na? You really have to start like partying and dancing. You're young.
I don't like dancing. I don't like meeting new people. Why can't you just understand that?
You need to at least give it a try.
Yeah, but it's not some switch you can flip. I mean, why don't you understand that?
But it is. Here's Louder.
Louder stands for literally makes you over the top until you're basically dead, but still makes you an enthusiastic responder. It does exactly what I just said it does.
Alright guys, today I'm live with my plant. हाँ बबलू, हाँ listen, sorry I broke your nose 4th grade में, मगर we're going clubbing today, you wanna come? हाँ प्रिया मैम, हाँ do you remember me? अच्छा even if you don't, we're going clubbing today, you wanna come? हाँ मासी, what's up? अच्छा सुनो, वो चिंटू की शादी में जैसे चुंदरी किया था, क्लब में करना है क्या? डॉक्टर्स था ना, इमरजेंसी है, मुझे बहुत जोर से पार्टी आई है। Shot. Where's the Josh? Come on guys, where's the Josh? Hi sir, where's the? चलो गोवा चलते, चलना अब भी गोवा चलते। Oh my God, Shreya, look at the guy. Oh my God, yeah, he's so cute. Right?
For Rs 299, you can also upgrade to a regulator. Side effects may include loss of money, loss of energy, loss of your sense of self, hearing the phrase "Aaj nahi, mummy ne na bola," and dehydration.
Even though like I prefer meeting people in real life and all, I've never like just gone somewhere out and like waited at a bar and like waited for someone to send me a drink, because here that culture isn't there.
is no
If someone sends me something, I'll be like, what have you put in this drink? Yeah. You know, like I won't accept it. So I think dating apps has definitely helped, like, you know, meet more people. Like at least I have like this wide range of options that I can choose from, and then be like, okay, I'll go out on a date with you, which I don't think will happen if I'm just like in a public place waiting for someone to just like.
Also, like in movies and all, the pickup culture that they do show is so messed up, and it's almost like assaulty and rapey and uncomfortable, and it should not happen in real life. And yeah, there is no culture because there is severe trust issues we legitimately have because of, just read the news and you'll know why. It's interesting when it comes to dating online or like finding people on a dating app and then, you know, meeting them. I have never done it, but I would like to ask everyone, what has that been like?
So I started meeting people through dating apps, and it's been a mixed bag. There have been situations where I've been like, oh my God, I am dead sure if I don't get this person to leave,
I'm gonna leave this world. Dating is for nerds basically then.
No, I just love is for nerds.
Oh,
I've given up.
a broken heart has spoken.
I'll go on TikTok and make one. Oh God.
Please no.
Extremes now.
Yeah, it's just bad from here. Downhill.
But I've also met very, very fun people who have just been on dates with.
The few that I match with, they're really amazing human beings, and we've become friends over time. And even if it hasn't culminated into something romantic, it's been friendship. We talk to each other, we take care of each other. So girls, please get on Tinder so that I can swipe on you all.
I tried and it was like Daisy, and then I was like, nahi hoga mere se, like I can't do this, I need to know that person.
I'm sure, have you ever been on any dating apps?
I've not been on any dating apps, but if I was single, I think I'd definitely be on one. Because I have a lot of friends who've met great people on dating apps, and it seems fun. I mean, it seems like what's not to like about it, but I don't really know.
Like I recently moved in with an older lesbian couple, and they've met through Tinder, and like they've been together for half a year now, and they're really, really adorable. So yeah, these stories do happen. Hasn't happened for me yet. We'll see.
It's gonna happen for both of us.
Let's see. Let's pray and
Pray to the universe. So yeah, some of our followers, if they ever met people on Tinder who they didn't end up with romantically but ended up becoming friends with, and this is what they had to say.
So I met this guy through Tinder and ended up adopting a dog because he had to leave Kolkata for some issues. And here is my dog. I matched with somebody and we kind of started talking and we gelled really well, and I told him about my breakup. I opened up and he was there for me throughout and told me how better I am and how better I deserve, and made me feel better about myself every day. So yeah.
I matched with one of them, I got the notification, so I checked his bio and we had similar taste in music, so we started talking about that and we vibed instantly. I'm so glad we have so much in common, we have similar interests and it's actually developed into a really good friendship, so I'm just glad I found someone like that.
Have you ever had to navigate a situation where like you kind of thought that you would really like a person when you spoke to them and then they said one small thing and you were like, bye?
A lot. So this has happened multiple times to me where I've met people on dates and sometimes they say something really problematic and I always start with, why would you say that? What is the experience that brought you to this awful opinion? So I at least try to like challenge their opinions or like tell them what I feel. I've realized that when people are not open to even changing that opinion, it gets very difficult to then see them as attractive. Because like, अगर तुम्हें सुनना ही नहीं है तो फायदा क्या है?
So guys, why do we want new friends? What is this urgency or a need to like be like, I need new people in my life all the time?
Any friends that I've made in the last few years have happened only because of, you know, me talking to them online or whatever, and then if it blooms into a friendship, it does. But when it really comes down to it, I have 5 best friends. I don't feel the need to expand beyond that.
So I think for me, I always need to meet new people and make new friends because, you know, the experiences that they've been through, the places they have seen, I haven't. So it's like traveling the world, learning about a new culture through a human being. So for me, these human relationships that I seek is really important in my life.
Friendship is, if you think about it, a truly voluntary relationship. Nobody is forcing you to be friends with anyone, and it doesn't have the same kind of expectations or like structural conditionings of romance, for instance.
That it's a completely voluntary choice that you make and then you keep them and they are very important to you.
And the choice is based on someone allowing you to be very radically yourself, which family and romance don't allow you to be.
I think it happens organically and you cannot stop it. Also because as we spoke earlier also, you grow as a person, and while you grow as a person, I think it's not you alone grow as a person, it is because of something or with someone. They are part of your journey and that is how you keep meeting people and you keep making friends.
Like even I would want to make new friends just to feel like a part of something where like it undercuts my loneliness in the world, where I'm like, okay, these are a group of people I can reach out to and they are a part of my life and I'm a part of their life and we can talk about things and we are like kind of each other's chosen family away from family, and also for the need of validation or for the need of being seen, for the need of feeling like you're important and understood in someone's life or in the world in general. I moved to Bombay and I was at a job and then all my friends or like my entire social life was just my colleagues, and then from there I came to another job and then the new colleagues were my whole life. So I've never really like found new friends. So like I know a lot of people tangentially and personally and I have a lot of acquaintances, but when I really sit down and think about, okay, who are my closest friends who I can say anything to, I always go back to my Delhi circle of my 8 friends that I have there who I just can't be in touch with as much as I would like to because we all have our own separate busy lives. So how difficult was it for you all to make new friends when you all like moved here?
It was quite difficult because you have not got the same education as them in terms of English, the language skills, or the way you dress. And I think the first year in college was hell for me. I was like, I can't do this stuff anymore. I found my friends in hostel. So in hostel, everybody is outstation and everybody is new to the city and exploring. So our friendship started on exploring Delhi. You know, we used to go out on Saturdays and Sundays, and that's how we started becoming friends.
I at least need to find people who are queer in order to fully feel comfortable in a place, and the best way to do that was Tinder. I think dating apps can be a good platform to meet people who have similar interests and similar likes and dislikes as you.
If you want to be a part of the next episode of GirlsFeed, then all you have to do is keep a lookout on Instagram for BuzzFeed India. We're going to probably be posting some questions there, and all you have to do is send in your videos. So yeah, just do that. Keep an eye out.
Yeah, it's the Girls Feed, Girls Feed, Girls Feed.
I don't know if you remember me, but I think we bumped into each other at the bar last night.
Of course I remember. I swiped right without even thinking twice. I can't believe we never spoke to each other even though I ran into you so many times.
I would have run in the other direction if you'd actually approached me, lol. I'm super socially anxious.
Yeah, I was also worried you think I'm a weirdo. Can we do over then? Same place next Friday?
I have to actually go out again? To a bar? With too many people? What if he thinks I'm a messy eater? Or that I'm actually a total bore? Get a grip. Unless...
Oh no. Did I scare you?
Listen, I don't know about going out yet. Would you mind just staying in and watching a movie instead? Are you crazy?
That sounds kinda cool, TBH.
Now he'll think you're desperate. I mean, good for you. Get it, sis. But what are you doing?
Listen, just so you don't think I'm weird for agreeing to come over, do you just want to watch a movie with me right now over the phone? If you feel like talking. We can always have a date some other time.